So, hi again, this is Anjali, and welcome back to Fem Stories. Like I said, today we have a very exciting topic: media production, content creation, storytelling, which is another mission of Fem Stories in terms of telling the vibrant and impactful stories to our women entrepreneurs and the overall viewers as well. I mean, like I said, there was this Tej event lately in my community, and I did not go. I was not able to attend the event because of other commitment, but I did see the stories and pictures on my WhatsApp. Now, one thing that really stayed with me or that really touched me was one of the very interesting video of, a woman like my mom, 75 or 70-year-old. She was completely decked up, nicely, very sober and simple. She was dancing with her friends. She was, making all, she was making most of the Tej event as opposed to anybody else. That touched me and that just made me so happy. Such a cute moment that was. And that's the impact of a story. That's an impact of a media production, or that's an impact of a content. And in today's time, that's where we are heading to. I mean, if the Instagram platforms and the story and the media platforms are being leveraged by used by the entire gamut of the age groups, not by the kids, but by every age group. And that was a moment that defined all of that for me. So today we have an exciting entrepreneur with us. She has so many, she's a CEO and founder of a company called Good Karma. She has learned to make personalized beauty products, and they're sustainable, they feel good. There's a sensory a satisfaction attached to it. She has an amazing media career as well. She has worked for National Geographic Channel, Fox Entertainment. We have an amazing, beautiful Radhika Dang today. Welcome, Radhika. Welcome to
so
Fam
much.
Stories.
Thank
And
you
thank
so
you for
much.
accepting to be here and sharing your story with our viewers and with me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was rather lovely.
I made it dramatic. Well, I hope I did do any justice to your introduction and to just tell your a little bit of a tad bit story to our viewers. But I think now focus on you. We'll learn more from your perspective, from what you have done so far. How did Good Karma come into inception or conception, and what made you think to get into this venture, and also about your media career. This is both are so powerful mediums at this point in time: beauty products and making a business out of it versus a media production, with all these big brand names. So tell us all.
So I actually began my journey as a TV producer director
Very
in the
interesting.
non-fiction space.
Nice.
I think ever since I was small, I was really fascinated by travel shows and food
Yes.
shows. It
I'm
really
still fascinated. It actually gives you a larger than life kind of a picture in your mind. Oh my God, how does it feel to be with the elephants in the
that is
jungle?
so
How does
true.
it feel to be in front of the Hawaii beach? I mean, I've been to Hawaii several times, but sitting on a couch and being there virtually is amazing. And now we've AR, VR technology to be actually there, which
Yeah.
is also another technology that's coming up. But then, yeah, it's a fascination. Sorry to digress.
Bang on. I think I really had that same fascination
Yes.
in my heart. And, as a kid, I would read the National Geographic magazine, and I would just be fascinated by all the stories and the adventures. And then little did I know that I really got a chance later on in life to work with the group, with the channel,
Nice.
and be a part of some of the most celebrated Indian shows,
Yes.
which are now on, some of them are on Netflix, some of them are on Fox and Nat Geo. Actually, one of the shows that I was working on, it was for a London based channel,
Yeah.
and it was on Ayurveda and beauty. So the concept was really going to the backwaters of Kerala and
Beautiful.
really digging up, some of the ancient wisdom,
Yes.
and seeing how one could apply that to our modern lives.
Nice.
So it was an interesting concept, and I thought that there's no ready literature. So I need to go there, stay there for a couple of months, understand, what are the principles and what are some of the recipes or formulations that we've been using, and how do I kind of twist it and kind of fit it into the modern setups. To give you an example, you may have some very beautiful oils, but nobody's really going to put those oils, in a daily way. But how do I make maybe a lip balm out of it? Or how do I make like a body wash out of it?
So do you actually make beauty products with the core essential raw stuff?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Did you learn this, or how did this happen?
So I think at the onset, it started with that one show and me going to Kerala, studying it, curating over 120 recipes on different topics. The show went out fabulously well, and when I came back, I thought, okay, maybe I should just start sharing these nuggets of information, because I found them personally so interesting, and I thought maybe people would like to know about them. And I started sharing these recipes freely on through blogs, through Facebook. Communities were really popular back then in 2011, 2013. So I started sharing them.
It's actually quite back then. I mean, we are so moving faster. 2011 sounded like obsolete to me. It's crazy, but it's true.
Technology is moving at such a rapid pace.
True.
That is so true.
Oh God, it was funny. Okay.
So these comments, like these posts picked a lot of traction. Like I would get on each post like 500 comments of people like just talking about
huge traction.
Yeah, huge traction. And little did I know that, I would have like a swarm of people coming to my home asking me to like, I would make some things fresh for them, give it to them.
So your product market fit was happening organically.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't actually get an idea in your mind and then you went to the market to get to see the MVP or get to the stage of MVP and get the product market fit research. It already happened for you organically.
Actually,
Okay, great.
It was a lot of heart that I was putting into it, and I would say very little mind or brain in terms of what is the right packaging, what should be the right price point, what are the channels I should market from. So none of that. It was just like, okay, I'm sharing something, people are liking it, they want to come and try it, and every weekend we would have like at least 30-40 people who would just come. And my mom and my father were there, so they became like a part of it, and we would be like serving tea and like making them try products.
It's like a party going on every weekend.
And I remember I was doing products like lotion bars. Now lotion bar at that time nobody was doing, but I thought it was interesting, so we were doing lotion bars, we were doing body butters, we were doing completely organic lip balms with rose petals and things like that.
Very
and then
nice.
We would macerate our own oils. Maceration is nothing but infusing the oil with herbs over a period of time and heating it to a specific temperature, again for a couple of weeks before all the phytonutrients get absorbed in the oil, and the oil also it becomes really aromatic.
Sounds amazing. I mean, I am all about organic stuff. I mean, in US, I've lived in US for most of my the middle age or the previous 16 years, and I've used like Bed Body and Bath and Beyond, and all the other key organic outlets, and it has been amazing. And the aroma, and I mean, what I've learned is when there is no aroma, there is no smell, it's better. So, it's more organic, which is actually kind of, I don't know what to say, but and there's more perfume, there's more smell, then it's not as organic. It's very, is that true?
So what you're saying is very true. Fragrances are not natural, but actually essential oils are.
Yeah.
So when you're creating an aroma through essential oils, it's really nice, it's really natural, but one needs to know the dermal limits of essential oils. Okay. So there's a little bit of science as well. You've got to know before you actually put it.
Nice. Did you learn this technical before you actually launched Good Karma? Because I think anything it takes a knowledge, it takes a skill to be able to build the products, and then we get to selling part and the business part. So tell us more about that.
So, from 2014 to 2018 was just really homegrown. Then I decided to actually formally study skincare formulation. So I'm also today a certified natural skincare formulator. I studied from the Formula Botanica school. And after studying formally, I said that, okay, now I would like to place a bet on myself and like probably quit my job,
So one show changed the life. So it is the entrepreneurship coming from that one show in Kerala.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
you
the story
could-
I get it.
You could totally say that. And,
Oh, wow.
over years of just seeing a lot of traction, a lot of encouragement, a lot of love from the community that we built. And then really deciding to take a plunge eventually.
Yeah, I
yes.
mean, you were really happy kid with the media and the geographical
Oh, yeah,
fascination.
that was my dream job, by
Yeah,
the
but
way.
you never thought that entrepreneurship in the beauty products will actually happen. But that fascination led to this venture, and eventually you are now an entrepreneur and you're a founder of this amazing brand. Amazing. Now that's one story, right? That's an amazing story. I'm loving it. Because I don't know. I mean, I really don't know if this is a stroke of luck.
Yeah.
Or if it's a very committed hard work and follow your passion and fascination that actually leads to your destiny, or is there something else? I don't know, but this is beautiful. I really like it.
It's funny when we look back and we connect the dots, everything
Yeah.
seems like such
Seems
like a fairy
yes,
tale.
Yes, when you connect, we look back, which is only God knows, only He can connect the dots forward. We all are humans. We
Yeah.
connect the dots backward. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. You're actually moving in the right direction. But it's so hard to predict that if this is going to work. So, I mean, for most of us, which are normal people, I'm giving you a stage higher because you're organically getting into the entrepreneurship, and then, your market product fit is happening every weekend, and you know that people want this. You know that people are really coming to you, and you're making this. You just invest your time and money to learn the skill, and then you eventually launch the product, which is a very fantastic journey, but not happens for most of us. Like for me, I will take that example. Like I own a digital marketing company because I worked in Silicon Valley for 15 years in this area as a marketing operations and strategy person. And now in India, I own this company called The Musings. And I also run this podcast, which is my passion project. And but I also have a slight thought in my mind, at the back of my mind. It's a parking thought and I have so many ideas. The ideas are always sprouting, right? But doesn't matter unless you work on one idea and execute it to the bay. It doesn't matter. I mean, you can have, what is it called in India? Sheikh chilli ka pulao.
Absolutely.
है ना, वही बोलते हैं ना उसको. हाँ. So I'm just on a Sheikh Chili Ka Pulao wala stage right now. But I really want to take that plunge. But again, for me, the journey could be, okay, this is my deck. This is the product market fit. Whether really actually people want it. What problem I'm trying to solve. What is the issue that I'm trying to solve? Because that's how I think. And whether it's going to be a D2C brand or a B2B, how is it going to fly off, and why and how? It's like too much. But I already have my own current business and other stuff going on. So I think it's on a back burner right now. But now I'm excited enough to ask these questions because this is the person sitting right in front of you who's really want to do something like that same thing. But I just don't know. And there are so many people sitting on the couch right now who might be like me,
Yeah.
So you might be an answer to so many such folks, including me. Now, the question is, where do you start?
I think for me, the approach would be start exactly where you are with exactly what you have. Because where you are at this point of time, you're already equipped with everything that you require to start, to begin. And like we were discussing, the journey is going to be so different, so magnificent. It's going to be full of ups and downs, for sure. That's a given. But you cannot plan it on paper on day one.
You cannot. And like I said, Radhika, I mean, it is, once you start, I mean, it's easy to say, it's easier said than done, by the way. We can start, right? but you think about the finances, right? How is it going to work after 6 months? Whether it's going to give any financial returns to me, and how much I am going to invest. And if I'm going to the investors, they're going to be equity share, and then there's a additional burden to get it back. And there's more skin in the game, more cooks in the kitchen, and it could be fun, good learning ride for sure. But then you really need to get yourself out there, and there's an uncertainty around it. And what if it doesn't work? So there's an insecurity also. Uncertainties, insecurity, already in the first minute, I've already told you my thoughts. And then the pricing pieces, right? If you think about it, in the country like India, or economy like India, or the mindset like we have, if it's under 1,000, it's good. If it's above 3,000, it's a premium product. I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about the masses and everybody. But between 1 and 3 is also priced as expensive, right? So if you choose a clothing brand of a D2C, if you choose a beauty product, or if you choose a snack or a healthy snack or any major category, right? Fashion, there's a whole infographic you can see the best of D2C in India. The pricing is a real game. It's so severe and strategic. How do you come around? If you have a $200, if you 200 rupees product, what are you going to gain? What is going to be the gross margin? It's going to be funky dory game. So talk about pricing to me.
So India is a very price sensitive market, as
very.
everyone would agree. And with the advent of social media, and the attention span of people has really gone down.
Absolutely.
And brand loyalty, I would say, massively suffered. Right?
Yeah.
So you've got to build a way to engage people. Like you said, you're a storyteller.
Yeah.
People are not just buying your product; they're buying into you, Anjali. They're buying into your story. The big brands who are doing very well, over-the-counter brands, legacy brands, they are like established.
They're
brands,
like unicorns. They're established.
Yeah, they're unicorns. They're established. People would just buy the product. It would just sell by the brand name.
Yes.
But until you reach that place, people are going to buy into you. So you've got to be extremely authentic. What is the problem that you're solving? What is the approach that you're taking? I'm going to... Like people, they're going to place their bet on you. Now, the reason I said I started from home, people didn't really understand my products. How did it start? It actually started with me just sharing my journey in a very personal manner, and then also sharing the recipes or the formulations with it. But what really clicked with people was what I was writing, right? They could really relate to me as a person.
So again,
Radhika.
stories. The stories, I mean, the more we write and more we talk, it comes down to the storytelling. This is where what we are doing on Fem Stories too, talking about the right stories that clicks. It makes and breaks everything. And it has so much power in it.
Absolutely.
It has so much power in it. What you write, what you pen down, what you think, what you narrate, what you articulate has so much power in it. It has power to change things, the whole narrative. Amazing. It's beautiful. So how did you decide that how will you price your products? Now that you have done this journey, you understand today that, okay, people want this. This could be a good product or good business venture. You go there, you get yourself equipped with your tools, your resources, your knowledge, and then you come back and you start this business, right? This is what I'm assuming that happened.
Yeah, absolutely. I went ahead and I studied formulation formally, and then I came back. I just put my nose in the lab and I said, okay, let's just really get the best kind of formulations out basis what is the need of the hour. Pricing, I think I was very clear from day one that some of my favorite brands, like the brands that I would just keep revisiting every time, whether it was a Body Shop or whether, so I was like, okay, it's got to be easy on the pocket. Because if I'm asking you to buy my product for the first time, you are not going to really take a plunge because, there's no celebrity. Yeah, you're not going to do that.
So what was your price in the beginning?
Sweet spot was $300-400. Yeah.
So what was your gross margins there?
My gross margins were between 30 to 40%, and my net margin was about 10 to 15%.
Not not bad.
Yeah.
Not a bad start.
Yeah, it was not a bad start.
No,
And
absolutely
especially for a very lean team, just working on it, it just really gave us enough ammo to keep going.
Yeah.
But like I going back to the story where I started and I decided to form a brand formally. I think initially there was no pressure in terms of earning money. We were just having fun. We were putting a lot of heart. Sales were just happening. Like just magically happening.
Wow.
Now the moment I decided to open an entity, get my trademark, rebrand myself, I took up a space, I started things, sales just dropped.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah. It
So when you
happens.
start to do it formally,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Or I should rather say it actually kind of go into little slumber mode. But when you were doing it organically with all love, your
Yeah.
heart,
Yeah.
sales were happening magically, like you said.
Yeah, money was not even a question, like literally, I'm not kidding.
Like, give me a day.
So, like, for example, if my salary back then was, let's say, about 1 lakh a month, I would be earning more through the sales of my business just working from home. Yeah, way back
No
in
wonder you
2013.
decided to not say bye to the job. Even if I'm fascinated with you guys, I think I'm done with you.
So,
I'm done with the elephants and the chimpanzees in the jungle. Okay, good. Just joking.
yeah. Even the job
That's
was...
a good one. So basically, then you formed a LLC or a INC or whatever the corporation you did, and then that's when you realized this is the real business.
Yeah. And
So
I
what
think as
what
soon
was
as
the dip all about?
I think as soon as the pressure came in, we started taking it up. There was a lot of pressure now to have at least those many sales to be able to support the structure. And then, listing ourselves on, suddenly we realize, okay, we're now going to be listing ourselves on Amazon or Nikon, various
e-commerce platforms.
Now, suddenly, 40% they would just take immediately.
They'll take it
they'll
from
take
their
immediately.
aggregators. They want the brands.
Absolutely,
They'll just take the
absolutely.
higher margins away from you. But did you build a strategy? Okay, maybe 5 aggregators, 40% out. Let's take the 60%, and then let's just take the compounded interest, but then keep your original goodness intact, because I think that was your original trademark.
Yeah.
Versus the commerce going. I mean, this could be a built-up strategy to actually move forward. Why was there a dip there?
I think we now decided to take things up in a more formal manner. We went into a website. Now people who were just ordering offline on calls, on WhatsApps, now we were encouraging them, please go to the website, place an order.
Yeah.
I think that learning curve also people were not ready for. Maybe they thought, oh my God, they've become really commercial now. Whatever
Who's
the
going to go to a
mindset
website?
was.
Like auntie will say, like same I the story I was just sharing that. Who's going to go on a website, Baba? I don't know how to go on the website. Please, aap mujhe ye product de do. That's far more convenient.
That's true.
And the
That's
human
true.
touch, right?
Yeah, that was the
Me
human touch.
coming to you to buy something,
Yeah.
we don't really realize, but this is so good.
That
Now
is
we are on, and I'm the person who have designed the whole house online.
Yeah.
From start to finish. And it is convenient, especially if you're living abroad. You don't have time to go out, and I don't go to malls. It's just so much. It's so taxing. Sitting on a couch and on hundreds of websites and adding the cards from choosing is so convenient.
Absolutely.
And it's my best time pass. I'm watching Netflix, sipping Coke, and doing all this shopping. It's an event for me. But cut to the in-person shopping experience, it has its own charm.
Yeah.
And not the age group. I would love that too. I would love to a Banjara market or any good market in any place like a Sarojini Nagar market. That has another vibe
That has its-
altogether.
yeah, that's
You
true.
can't beat that fun. That's
No.
another stuff. So I think that is probably what happened.
Yeah. I think when you would come to, like, let's say my space, the way I would speak to you, the nuggets that I would share in terms
Yeah.
of, what I'm learning, how we are making all the macerations, what kind of oils we're using, all of that, I feel could not translate very well to the technology that we were, like the website, Amazon, Nika, there was just no way to share that experience. And I think that's where a lot of our clients dropped back then. We could not understand, okay, what is it that we're doing? And we were struggling. We were really, really struggling. And so that's when I realized actually through a journey of an entrepreneur, you're going to face with so many challenges, and every step would kind of help you grow.
Yeah.
And let's say tomorrow I see my business, let's say for an example, like 100 crore business or 1,000 crore business. But the kind of entrepreneur that requires me to be, I'm not at that stage right now. So
That's a huge
have
scale.
yeah. So I have to invest in myself,
Yes.
reach there, and then the business would
Yes.
also grow to that
Exactly.
scale.
Yes, yes. I mean, absolutely. You have to become that person,
Yeah.
right? You have to become that personality, that brain,
Yeah.
to be able to function at 100 crore. And I think all of the D2C brands sleeps, eats, and breathes of being there. I've met a couple of them by now, and it's
That's
fascinating. See, that's where I extract my inspiration as well. And India is going in an amazing place, right? What Silicon Valley was going through in 2003 or 13, whatever the timeline, India is going through at that timeline. You're creating the new. I mean, right now, it's a running joke that you start your day with your Country Delights milk.
Yeah.
You can have delivery and all through day for all your courier services, and then you can end the day with Swiggy and Zomato's dinner. And I've forgotten to skip lots of other startups, but then these startups have fundamentally invaded
Changed.
our daily lives
Absolutely.
and changed the game. There's a 15% GDP for India coming from these companies.
Absolutely.
Amazing growth.
It's amazing.
And it's an amazing time. It will be foolish not to take use of this time and not to do something nicely, or something which you can actually make money out of, and also just try something new. So I'm this passionate soul that think all of this good but does nothing. When it comes to action, what have you done? Oh, I'm just talking. I just don't know. So that's where I am. And I'm sure there are a lot of other, I'm making a fun of myself because I know.
But maybe that's your gift of the gab. I mean, that's what you're selling, and
Yeah.
maybe you don't know what that could create for you.
Yeah.
As a podcast, as a storyteller,
Yeah.
you could earn much more than maybe like a service provider, somebody who's selling a product, because what you're selling is this.
Yeah.
You just got to structure it in a way that
Yeah.
that it becomes a way to
To serve stories.
Absolutely,
And like we
to
said,
add
story
value.
is such a huge power in itself. I mean, I never thought that this will be making money out of it. I'm still calling it as my passion project. See, I'm having fun. And maybe I can afford, knock on wood, to have a studio and have wonderful women come and we can have a chat, and I can create some stream out of it. It's also a luxury, and I have a gratitude attitude. I want to say thanks to the universe to be able to do all of this. I'm sure there is a God's plan behind this. We will all know. I mean, I don't know, like we can't watch forward, right? God can see it. So I'm just doing my karma, and I believe that it's very, very important to follow your passion. But I still would love to dab a little bit into what you are doing, and let's see how it goes. Anyways, I think it's an amazing start.